Pam is a body positive, sex positive, no nonsense badass.
Welcome to Watch Mojo's Poppin' the Culture, your weekly entertainment check-in. Me? You know me. I'm your host with the most, Mojo. That's right, it's Mr. Hollywood himself, Matt Demers. Another great show coming your way. I'll be speaking with Amber Nash. She voices the role of Pam Poovey on the adult animated series Archer. So much fun happening there. Plus, I've got Thomas Jane and his daughter Harlow. They're talking about their new film, Dig. Don't want to miss any of it. It's all coming your way. But first, here's your Hollywood headlines. All right, and here to help me break it all down is the voice of a multitude of Watch Mojo videos, the Watch Mojo lady herself, Rebecca Brayton. Hello, Rebecca.
Hello, Matt. I'm excited to be here.
I'm excited to have you here because we've got a lot to talk about, so let's not waste any time. All right, Rebecca, well, we begin with some rather surprising sequel news, as Keanu Reeves is confirmed to be reprising the role of Constantine.
You will live, John Constantine. You will live.
Oh yes, picking up after the events of the 2005 film, Reeves will take on the role of cursed exorcist and demonologist for a brand new movie, reteaming with director Francis Lawrence.
Go to hell.
All right, Rebecca, it's been 17 years. The original box office wasn't stellar, but this crew always wanted to make a sequel. So what says you? Is it ever too late for a sequel?
It's never too late for a Keanu Reeves sequel. That's my opinion. I think, cashing in on the Keanu sauce is definitely worthwhile. And not only Keanu Reeves in that movie, though, but Tilda Swinton, Peter Stormare. It's a really cool cast, and I can't wait to see what they do with it.
Hey, boo.
Okay, well, moving on to other movie news, because Sony has announced that they are working on yet another Karate Kid film slated for 2024.
Concentrate, focus, power. Remember balance.
No mercy.
But Cobra Kai fans shouldn't get too excited, because co-creator of that show, John Hurwitz, has since revealed that this new Karate Kid movie isn't coming from his creative team, and it will not be focused on the Cobra Kai cast of characters.
Adult classes are on Wednesday.
We're not here to take a lesson. We're here to teach you one.
Rebecca, is it a mistake not to tie the Karate Kid movie with Cobra Kai?
For a reboot to have goodwill, I feel like squandering that on for your reboot or your sequel or whatever it's gonna be. It's bold. Because Cobra Kai is popular. People like it. It is done well and people like it. So the fact that they're just gonna kind of be like, no, never mind. It seems like a waste.
Are you losers?
No, Sensei!
Are you nerds?
No, Sensei!
Are you sure?
No, Sensei!
Okay, Rebecca, well, sticking with Sony, the studio has announced that they're actually delaying some Spider-Man adjacent films.
I'm listening.
I'm not sure how I got here. Has to do with Spider-Man, I think.
The Aaron Taylor Johnson starring Kraven the Hunter will now come out on October 6th, 2023.
Where'd you come from?
Mother Russia, by way of Mother Africa.
Meanwhile, the Dakota Johnson starring Madam Web will be released on February 16th, 2024.
They call me Web, Madam Web. Thank you for rescuing me. The Guardian Vines are formidable.
All right, Rebecca, the Sony Spider-Man Universe doesn't seem to be having the best luck, especially after Morbius. What says you? Can this still be a thing?
Okay, can I tell you a secret? I didn't hate Morbius. I don't think it's impossible. I think Tom Holland is so likable and so good in that role that he can make anything work. They need to get there.
It's a curse.
Okay, Rebecca, get ready for this because new reports indicate that Netflix will be getting rid of their binge model. You know, where they release all episodes of a season all at once.
Amy and Steve watched 10 Peaky Blinders in one night?
Not a competition, honey.
Kinda is.
As for why, well, Netflix is facing many challenges, most notably increased competition who don't follow this model and have had great success.
Yes! So I'm clearly nailing it at all of these things.
Okay, Rebecca, does binging a TV show still make sense? And if they scrap it, are you for it?
I do find that when I watch something really, really fast that I don't kind of take it in as much. And to a point, I don't get as into it. So I could see this benefiting shows and it being like appointment television.
All right, well, I quickly want to touch on Fortnite because like Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, Brie Larson is the latest celebrity to get involved with the fighting franchise.
This isn't how it ends.
Epic Games released a new cinematic trailer setting up storylines for Chapter 3, Season 4, and Brie Larson appeared as the character Paradigm. Okay, now, Rebecca, the Captain Marvel actress isn't the most liked online, and I gotta ask, why do you think that is?
I like Brie Larson. I watch her YouTube channel. I think she's relatable. I think she seems cool. I would like to hang out with Brie Larson. That's for the record. I want this on, like, I hope this gets back to her because that video of her at, I guess it was Disney, at D23, where someone was like, "Are you gonna play Captain Marvel again?" And she was like, "I don't know. Do people want me to?" Mm-hmm. I very relate to that vibe of answer.
How long will you play Captain Marvel for?
I don't know. Does anyone want me to do it again?
All right, well, last for us today in the Hollywood headlines is the final goodbye that was paid this week to Queen Elizabeth II.
These are the final moments for the people to see the hearse.
With hundreds of world leaders and thousands upon thousands of mourners paying their final respects, the longest-serving monarch, with billions watching around the world, was finally put to rest in, well, a funeral fit for a queen. All right, Rebecca, there was lots of celebrities on hand. Sandra Oh is there. She has an Order of Canada. Bear Grylls was representing the Scouts. Obviously, it was a big procession. What says you? Did you follow this? And are you a royal watcher?
Regardless of what you think about the monarchy or Queen Elizabeth or the family, I think this was a moment that is really important to have witnessed. And I think Queen Elizabeth was someone who brought people together more than maybe the next generation might. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Not really my place to say, but I did really respect what she stood for.
Rebecca, I can't thank you enough for joining me once again. Help me break down all these Hollywood headlines.
No worries. Thank you so much.
But you know what? I can't have you go anywhere because we still got to take a little trip. Maybe you know it?
Can I steal your line again? Beyond the list.
Beyond the list. All right, Rebecca, here's what we do. We dig deep in the vast archives of Watch Mojo. We pluck out a top 10 list and we go beyond that list. What does it mean? It means me and you just get to riff a little, give our own personal opinions. Today, I want you to be honest because this is going to be fun. It's the top 10 fast food failures, but I want you to, so some of them have to do with actual food items. So for those entries, I want you to tell me if you would actually partake, or maybe you already did, maybe you already had some, because some of them are pretty, well, we'll get to it. Some of them aren't so appetizing. Let me just put it that way. Do you like some fast food? I used to be a big fast food kind of guy, and I've tapered off. My favorite now, I think, is here in Canada. I don't know if they have it elsewhere. You can tell me if I'm wrong. Harvey's?
No, Harvey's is Canadian. And
that's only
Harvey's
a Canada thing?
Is a man restaurant. Let me tell you, I hate Harvey's.
No!
Oh my God.
That is my favorite. That's the one I go to the most.
Yeah, men love Harvey's. It's just the way it is, Matt. I don't
Intriguing.
know.
Intriguing. What's your fave? If you had to, if you're on a road trip, we got to pull over the next stop. It has to be
Wendy's.
Yeah.
It was a Wendy's. No, Wendy's, A&W, McDonald's, but Wendy's is the best one for sure.
Yeah, Wendy's is pretty great. Okay, let's get into some fast food failures. And once again, tell me if you've partaked or if you would. This is interesting. This was, I do kind of remember this. It was called Satis Fries. Satis Fries. This is from Burger King. Remember they were trying to deliver a healthy, what was it, like a healthier alternative to French fries?
I'll be honest with you. We don't have a lot of Burger Kings around where I live. So Burger King is not really on my radar. I appreciate the effort.
You know what?
And like, because the thing is, somebody's got to do it first, right? So, and then like people will, if the first one doesn't work, people will pick up on it. Like I appreciate the idea of like a healthy fry, although don't give me apple slices with my Happy Meal. I swear to God. Anyway. That's
the thing. If you're going, okay, listen, if you're going to a fast food place, you're not really going to eat healthy.
Look, here, I told you I go to Wendy's. I always get a salad. Their salad's amazing.
You're not wrong. Yeah, actually, to be honest, you're not wrong. But yeah, people said no to Satis Fries. It was not.
That's fair.
It was not good. Burger King. And you're right. There isn't a lot of Burger Kings, I guess, in my geographical region either. But then I worked at a movie theater and we had kind of like a pop-up Burger King, right?
Mm.
Inside you can order. And so for lunches, I would eat so many Whoppers, but I think I've eaten so much Burger King that I've ruined it. I can't go back. Yeah.
I used to work at Walmart and obviously there was a McDonald's and it took we didn't obviously make a ton of money, so I didn't want to like buy my lunch every day, but it took some willpower.
There you go. We got discounts. The movie theater, you got discounts on your food. Did you get discounts? At Walmart? Maybe?
I don't remember. It was a long time ago.
All right, here we go. Number 9 is Wendy's. This is their super bar. Oh, this was kind of gross. This was like almost like a buffet style bar.
Do you remember this?
I don't think I ever been to one and did stuff, but I remember seeing adverts or commercials about it. Ugh.
I mean, at the time it was cool, but like you could not pay me to go to a buffet or a salad bar post-pandemic.
Yeah, they had like Mexican food and pasta stuff at Wendy's. Oh, this just seems wrong.
I'm into it.
Are you?
Like
I don't
past
know.
me's into it. I would do it, but not anymore. But I would.
I remember the Pizza Hut ice cream bar. Remember that?
No, I never went to Pizza Hut, Matt.
Oh, Pizza Hut.
I know. I always wanted to go for the ice cream bar, and it sounded so cool. Damn it.
Yeah. Pizza Hut's one of my faves, along with Harvey's. Okay, moving on to McDonald's. Ew, this seems gross. Would you partake in the hula burger? This was like
I'll try anything. I'll try anything once.
Really? But this is this is the pineapple on hamburger.
Is it on a hamburger or is it instead of the hamburger? Yeah, it's instead of the hamburger.
What?
It's just.
Oh, wait a minute. You're right.
The patty is a pineapple. Whoops, sorry, I kept hitting my mic. I'd try it. I don't know.
Oh my God, you're absolutely right.
I don't think I'm picturing it, and I don't know, but I'll try it.
No, I thought maybe if it was just on a hamburger, maybe as like a topping, but no, you're right. It was wow, unbelievable. Are you a pineapple pizza? Going back to the pizza?
I don't think I've ever had it. I'm willing to try it.
It's not bad on pizza, to be honest, but burger and pineapple, I don't think works. Yeah, so clearly this didn't work out for McDonald's, the hula burger. I can only imagine why. Number 7 is table service at Burger King. Okay, this is where fast food restaurants.
So fun fact, I actually remember this. I'm dating myself.
So someone would someone would deliver your food.
Yeah.
This is fast food restaurants trying to be something that they're not.
Yeah. Do you not remember like mixed spaghetti? I remember getting a mixed spaghetti or was it a McPizza? Doesn't matter. But yeah, even McDonald's had like table service at one point.
I don't know. I just feel like that's the whole fun of a fast food restaurant is you get your food and you can sit down anywhere and just make a huge mess and it's, throw it all out at the end. And I don't know. Well, I'm not saying that I don't clean up. I'm just saying that it seems odd to pair it with table service and these poor people working behind the counter.
To be honest,
now you gotta make
that's my big problem with this is that it just puts a lot of like it's harder than it needs to be for the workers for sure. It's pointless.
Yeah, well, have you ever seen the movie? There's a movie called The Founder, and it's about the invention of McDonald's and how they revolutionized the fast food industry. So back in the day, fast food, it was all taken out on like roller skates.
Like roller skates?
And
yeah.
Like that was, imagine that.
Yeah, it's a different time.
But yeah, no. I like my fast food. Quick, I grab it. I'll sit. Don't worry about it. You guys stay behind the counter.
I don't remember the last time I ate fast food at a fast food restaurant.
Well, that's the thing now, too. It's all made to go and like order and you can have it delivered to your door. So here we go with number 6. This is gross. Just thinking about it. And I was just telling you before we started recording that I'm recovering from a bit of stomach bug. Well, this isn't helping me think about seafood salad at Taco Bell, where people actually got sick. There was actually too many incidents of food poisoning.
Well, I'm going to go with a no on that one then. We also don't have a lot of Taco Bells around these parts, but I think the only thing I've ever eaten at Taco Bell is like I don't remember what they're called, but like fries with like chili and cheese on them.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. I think it was like kind of like this all dressed. Yeah, people are going to tell us in the comments, I'm sure. But yeah, I know going back to that movie theater that I worked at, they also had a pop-up Taco Bell. So we used to sometimes
my movie theaters suck.
They don't have this anymore. This was back in the day, but I remember going back. I would visit. I had friends that worked there, and I would see the quote-unquote meat that was used to make the tacos. Do you have any pets? Do you have any like cats?
No.
Or no. That's what it looked like. Cat food, dog food.
Terrible. How dare you say that?
I'm sorry. I mean, it tasted okay, right? The final product. But yeah, this, what was it? The seafood salad. Oh, man, forget it. Don't even. Why Taco Bell? All right. Number 5, we're at the midway point, the Halloween Whopper. And I'm laughing because I remember seeing news stories about this where people were shocked after eating this burger with a black bun, right? It was a Halloween themed Whopper. The bun was black. And what was happening is after when they went to the washroom, they were in for a neon green surprise.
It's funny what the digestive system does, eh?
Imagine though, the surprise if you weren't ready for that though.
Yeah, could you put that in the advertising? Like
the very bottom may cause neon green.
May cause green poop.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's fine. I don't care. Like if it did, like if it's not poison, if it's just like, it's fine.
And it looked weird though. You're eating but like it tastes exactly the same, right? It's just
season.
They had the bun. The bun was black. Actually, I think they had some sort of A1 steak sauce flavoring on the bun. But yeah, to me, forget it. Yeah, I do remember seeing a lot of news and being like, "What?
Yeah, I remember that.
What's happening here?" This is odd. This is 100. What is this? 100 times 100 In-N-Out burger? Huh? What is this?
Yeah. So.
So they have the 3x3.
They had like 3x3 and 4x4.
4x4.
And then this is just really big. And it was like less than $100, which I feel like, I mean, I guess American, but that seems reasonable.
100? What? It was 100 patties. Oh, and then I just read where it was done in Las Vegas. That makes a lot of sense. Can you imagine though?
I mean,
whoa.
No. Like, how many people would you need to eat that?
And how could they make that in like, come back in like 4 hours? We'll give you your
I know,
order,
because
like.
In-N-Out isn't the same as other places where everything's like, I mean, maybe it's frozen, but it's not as fast as other fast food places.
And by the way, In-N-Out Burger is like, people swear by that place. Like even celebrities will like go. I remember Lady Gaga went after like winning a Grammy Award. She went to like In-N-Out Burger to end her night. So there you go. That place
it's
is
good.
super. Yeah.
I like Shake Shack. Anyway.
Number 3 on this list is the Priazzo from Pizza Hut. What is the Priazzo line? Oh, they wanted to make it the flavors from Rome and the meat heavy Milano and they went a little too fancy. This is stick to the original.
Pizza Hut. Pizza. Just make pizza. Anyway, no, that's not true. Their chicken Alfredo or chicken fettuccine, I don't know. It used to be pretty good. I'm not gonna lie, but I don't know.
I feel like Pizza Hut has done so many crazy things. This doesn't even register to me because I remember one time they used to put hot dogs in the crust. Remember?
Like a sausage roll kind of thing?
Yeah, they stuffed the crust with actual hot dogs.
Sure.
They've stuffed that crust so many times, and then they had like the crust was like a peel. Like, why even have a crust? Is that what's happening here? They're like, no one likes crust. We got to do stuff.
I like crust.
Yeah.
I love crust.
Stuff in the crust, putting hot dogs in the crust, peel off dipper crust. Like, the crust serves a purpose.
I like that idea though. The like, cause I always order the dipper, like the garlic toast or whatever, you know. And 2 in 1. I like that idea, but I don't even know what this Priazzo is.
They just tried to make it fancy. That's all that is. They just tried to go make it too fancy. But can I ask you a question? So if you do the dipper crust, or you rip off and you do the dip, and how are you going to hold your pizza? Because now you're just holding like the actual cheese and stuff.
Do it last. I don't know. I've never eaten it.
All right, it's a debate for another time. Number 2, Rebecca, we're getting close here. The Noid from Domino's Pizza. Yeah, this was weird, wasn't it? The Noid.
Yeah.
What do you remember about the Noid?
This entry is not funny. Just so you know. Like, this entry is about like Domino's employees being held hostage by someone. So
oh wow.
Yeah.
Because someone thought, you're right. Someone thought the Noid.
No, his name was Noid. So he held Domino's employees hostage and ended up being admitted to a mental institution. Anyway, it's sad, and so they had to get rid of their mascot, the Noid, because they were associated with this guy's name, which was Noid, and Domino's. So it's that's unfortunate, not funny. It doesn't really fit with the vibe of the list, but I mean, it does fit with the list anyway.
No, that's crazy. Yeah, imagine like thinking that you're watching these commercials and they're taunting you. So clearly a lot of mental health issues, and I didn't know it went that far to hold people hostage. Wow, over this Domino's pizza mascot, the Noid. Well, if you're ever wondering what happened to that, there's your answer. All right, Rebecca. Well, let's end with number 1. This is a fast food failure. I don't know. It was called supersizing. McDonald's did it, but everyone else kind of supersized, mega-sized. It didn't last, but I think that the nail in the coffin was that movie. Remember Super Size Me, where they showed the dangers of it?
So, fun fact, I did not realize they got rid of supersizing. So I'm like, well, you probably should have hit that harder, because I don't know. Good though, because did you watch that movie?
I did.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, like, it's obvious, but then it's not. Like, it's obvious. You know fast food's bad for you. But I don't know if I knew how bad. And how quickly bad. Yeah. So, yeah, I get it. Always in moderation, kids.
And I think, too, the other thing that was kind of strange about the supersizing is I think that the portions that they gave extra was different depending on where you were. So, like, in the United States, the portions were, like, out of control. Whereas if you went somewhere like the UK or Canada, it wasn't as much. And I noticed that I think that's the same, too, for, like, their regular portions as well, where the US tends to give a little bit more than other places.
I don't know. I don't actually know that.
Yeah.
So that sucks.
There you go, Rebecca. Fast food failures. There was a lot of them. Thank you for helping
What
me.
fast food are you craving right now?
You know what? Well, if it's not going to be Harvey's, it's going to be Pizza Hut. But nothing
Really?
but nothing in the crust. Yeah. Good old Pizza Hut. You?
All right.
What's your lunch?
I don't know. I just kind of want a McDonald's fry right now. Regular size.
There you go. All right, Rebecca, thanks again for joining me here on the program.
Thank you for having me.
It is now time for our Mojo Chats of the week. All right, she's an actress. She's a voiceover star. She's a comedian and an improviser. And hey, it's Amber Nash. Amber, how are you?
Good. Thanks so much for having me.
Well, thanks for chatting with me. I'm very excited to do so because, listen, I'm a big fan of Archer. So we'll get into that, but let's start. Let's start to see how you got into that, because I do talk to people that voice these characters on these popular shows, and it's either one or two. It's either I always wanted to do it, or I fell into it. Which one do you land in?
I fell into it. Yeah. It's so true. I ended up, I was an improviser. I was doing shows at like a local theater in Atlanta and just doing stage shows. And I'd never really even considered voice work. Like, I watched cartoons when I was a kid. Like I liked South Park, and I, obviously watched The Simpsons like everyone on earth. And I got into it because I got some little jobs here and there doing like radio spots for friends that worked at ad agencies that needed a voice actor to do some stuff. And I showed up and I didn't know what I was doing, but they could pay me very little money and I'd be there on time. And so that's how I started doing voice stuff. And then Adult Swim and Cartoon Network are based in Atlanta, which is where I'm at. And so through that, and just through the comedy networks and people I knew, I started getting little auditions for stuff at Cartoon Network and on Adult Swim. And Adult Swim was kind of just getting rolling, like in the early 2000s. And so I got lucky and I ended up on an Adult Swim show.
Amazing. Now, okay, I'm always, not to say that I'm confused about the voice, because it's a world I'm not used to, these voice actors. If you're an action for a live action series, you kind of know that process. You're on set. Are you? And I think it's different pretty much for every show though that's animated. But what's your process? Are you recording? You're not with the rest of the cast, are you? Like you're
totally right. Yeah, we're totally separate. And so the way that it usually works is I'll get a script sent to me like 2 days before, and we'll figure out the schedule. And then I read the script once, like usually in bed the night before. And then it's so much easier. It's so much easier than the other way of acting. And then I wake up, I don't have to go through hair and makeup. I don't have to worry about wardrobe, and I just show up at the studio. And when I'm there, I'm in Atlanta where they make the show. So I am usually there with the director and a couple of the producers and maybe even an editor. And I go in the booth, I do my lines. I'm usually there for like 45 minutes. I record by myself and then I leave. And all the other actors on the show live in different cities. So they just go to a studio there, and then they are patched in with the director and they give them notes, and then they're done.
So I'm assuming you've actually met these other cast members though, like
yes.
I'm just at different functions or events, like you've met them, right?
I will tell you that it was 2 years before I met anybody in the cast. So we'd already done the whole first season. They'd already been to Comic-Con once, but I wasn't invited the first year because my character wasn't big enough yet. And then I finally got to meet everybody the second year. And so we always say that we really like working with each other because we don't actually work together. So we love each other. We see each other like 5 times a year, and it's super fun.
It's really great though, because the chemistry is there, even though it is animated, right? And even though you're not feeding off of each other. So I think you guys all nail it. Let's stick with Archer for a second, because this is a beloved show. What's season 13? I think I just said 13.
I know.
What?
I always forget too. And I'm like, it's like when people ask you how old you are after you're 21, you're like, I don't know. So yeah, 13 seasons. Can you believe it?
That's insane, and especially in television, that's a rarity, right? To be around. I think it started in 2009. So there's something about it. What do you think it is that makes this so beloved? What if you could boil it down?
Yeah, I think that we got really lucky with FX, and FX was still kind of a new network when we started, and they really gave us a lot of room to explore, screw around, figure out what our show was. And so we had a few seasons to really get going, because some shows get canceled before they even really get into a real groove. Like 2 seasons is nothing in television. Like you can't really get moving. And so I think having FX, I think that also the show is really smart. Like it's dirty, I'm not gonna lie, but it's also super smart. Like we earn all of our dirty jokes, and there's always weird references that I have to look up because I'm like, what is that? So I think the combination of those things, and that we keep changing it up, like we're keeping it fresh.
Yeah.
Different things are happening. People never know what's going on. And so I think that's part of it too.
Absolutely is. Okay, let's talk about Pam.
Okay.
Let's go there. How would you describe Pam?
Pam is a body positive, sex positive, no nonsense badass. Like she can do anything. She's a drift car racer. She's a graffiti artist. She's a street fighter. Like she can literally do anything. So I think that people love her because it's like they've never seen a character like this before on television.
I think you nailed it. Is there anything that Pam has done that kind of shocked you? Like, oh my God, Pam's doing this today?
Really? I mean, they got us used to Pam doing crazy stuff pretty early. But one of the things that I was super proud of, and this was outside of the show, was I think it was 2016, Pam ended up in Sports Illustrated swimsuit edition. Just like, what? And so I got, the producers sent me like a big poster size of the Pam from the Sports Illustrated swimsuit edition. And I have it framed in my house.
Amber, people love Pam. I don't know if you know this, but people have like actual tattoos of your character. The all over their body, and Pam and cosplay. You mentioned Comic-Con. There's actually Pam cosplay going on.
Oh yeah, there's some really great cosplay, and I like because in season 8, the noir season, we had Poovey, and so there's like all different kinds of Pams. Like there's like cocaine Pam, there's regular Pam, there's classic Pam. There's just all kinds of different Pams. So it's really fun to see different people's cosplay.
I'm a sucker for cocaine Pam myself.
I know everybody is, because her body got smaller, but her boobs stayed the same size.
It's so great. Do you have a favorite line? Because you get to say all kinds of crazy stuff, which to me sounds like it could be fun. Do you have a favorite line that they threw on you, or because you have a catch? What's your catchphrase?
My catchphrase is "Holy shit snacks."
Yeah, there you go.
That's a good one. I also love Sploosh. Sploosh is one that comes up online all the time. Super funny. One of my favorites is like one of the least dirty lines, and it's Pam and Cheryl, which I think they have such a great relationship. But Cheryl's just sitting at a desk working, and Pam walks by, and she just goes, "Hey there, neck bones." I was like, it's just what? Why is it happening? But I also love it.
Awesome. Okay, we talked about being in season 13. Can you give us a tease? We're in the midst of it. If people haven't checked it out, definitely do so. But what kind of shenanigans, if you can say anything? I know everything's kind of...
I'll tell you one of my favorite things, which is a Pam thing. And it's that Pam has a few episodes long love interest, which is the first time. And it's no one that people know. It's nobody from the regular cast. So Pam has got like a real love relationship going on. It's so fun.
Amazing. I think, I was doing a bit of research, and I think Pam has actually ended up with all the main characters on the show.
I think she's had sex with everyone.
Somebody's done the math out there. It's really, really great. Okay, so what's the future of Archer? I guess, are you privy to this? I mean, everybody, I don't know if you know this, but everyone online wants an Archer movie, right? That seems to be the big one, whether it's animated or live action. What are your thoughts on that? Could Archer translate to the big screen?
I think so. I think like Bob's Burgers obviously showed that it can happen. The Simpsons live action movie was so much fun. Or not live action, but the Simpsons movie was so much fun. So I think we could definitely do it. I don't know if a live action movie would work, because it's like, how do we do Archer? How do we do Archer? People are like, well, John Hamm could play Archer, but he doesn't sound like Archer. So I just don't know. I don't know about a live action, but I do think we could do an animated movie. And I think it'd be really fun to see what they got up to for, 90 minutes.
Absolutely. I like that you mentioned John Hamm too, because I feel like the animation style of the show kind of lends itself a little bit to Mad Men and other things, which is fun. You can just get like these big A-list actors and they can just move their mouth and you guys can...
But would the A-list actors be down with that? That's the question.
Probably not. If you were to pick someone to play Pam, the live version of Pam for you to voice, what actress out there, who could pull it off?
You know, I said this on a panel one time because somebody asked me this question, and I stand by it. John Goodman. Yes. Could you imagine?
I am starting the petition. It's going out there. Watch Mojo will lead this charge. That's awesome. All right, well, let's talk about some other stuff you got going on, Amber, because we mentioned obviously at the top that, or I mentioned rather, that you're an actress, comedy. You have a background in improv, which I think lends itself great to this. What other stuff you got going on?
Yeah, so we made a film, which is so cool. So my husband's a writer and a producer, and his good friend that he came up doing comedy with is a director. He went to NYU Film School, and we made a film this past December. We made a Christmas movie called How to Ruin the Holidays, and Colin Mockery, the great improviser from television that everyone loves, plays my dad. And my character in the movie has a brother with special needs who's played by a wonderful actor in Atlanta with special needs that we met and fell in love with, named Luke Davis. It's an incredible film, and I can't wait for people to see it. It's not out yet. I don't think it'll be out this Christmas, but keep an eye out for How to Ruin the Holidays.
Absolutely. And if you were to get a father, an actor to play your father, I mean, you can't go wrong with Colin Mockery.
Oh my gosh. And he's like the nicest guy. I know that they say Canadians are the nicest people, but I really actually think it's true. Like he's become a good friend of ours, because the first time we met him, we had him out to our theater to do improv with us, and we just like jived, and he is so much fun to play with.
All right. Well, Amber, thank you so much again for your time today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much. I had a great time.
All right, now here's my chat with Thomas Jane and Harlow Jane about their new crime thriller, Dig. The movie is titled Dig. It's this really great mystery thriller with a fantastic cast. And hey, look who I've got. Some of the cast members here with us. Hey, Thomas. Hey, Harlow. How are you doing?
Hey, Matt.
Doing all right.
Pleasure.
Okay, listen, I love these type of movies. They're gritty. You know, you got the thriller elements. There's an aspect of survival. Thomas, break it down for us. What can we expect if people buy their tickets or plop down and watch this one at home? What can we expect at a Dig?
You can expect some wonderful acting. It's a four-hander. It's Emil, it's Liana, and it's me and Harlow. And they're two opposite sort of sizes. This one guy, Emil, and his girlfriend, and it's father-daughter. It's a thriller, but really, you know, so it's fun. But the reason why we thought it was really fun to do and why we wanted to do it was because it explores that sort of rift that can happen between a father and a daughter. You know, that I can relate to, that Harlow can relate to, that a lot of folks can relate to, and it gives us this these events, you know, that they get kidnapped and they're forced to do some terrible things, and they through it are able to kind of be challenged by how they really feel about each other. This father-daughter relationship that hasn't been working. Something terrible happened. My daughter lost her hearing because of it. I'm responsible in a big way. Don't want to deal with that. And it's just driven a wedge between us. And how do we resolve that? Can we resolve that? You know, do people ever recover from this kind of thing? So that was really attractive to be able to sort of, you know, take life experience and feel safe enough with each other to sort of take the masks off and show what that's really like. That was the challenge and the goal.
Absolutely. Yeah. We're playing with a lot of themes. Redemption, obviously one of them. Harlow, I mean, the obvious question here is you're working with your dad. I don't think this is the first time you guys work together on screen. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but is this something you would recommend other actors do, working with parents? What was that experience like?
I mean, technically not our first time. I mean, the first time I don't count it. I mean, I was young and sort of, you know, having fun, and I didn't understand acting really. But would I recommend it? I mean, if you really want to get to know your parent and get a little free therapy out of it, absolutely I would. And I actually remember telling my dad, I was like, God damn it, I don't want to keep playing your kid. I am your kid. I want to do something different. And he very wisely, as he is, responded with, well, look, kid, you're not going to get cast as daughters forever. And this will be like a token that, you know, your kids can watch, you know, and that you'll have forever, and like a little chunk of history of ours. And I was like, God, okay, you're right, I get it. And so yeah, it's beautiful and difficult at the same time.
Absolutely. I want to stick with you for a second, Harlow, because as Thomas alluded to, your character loses their hearing and part of that accident. As an actor taking on that, I mean, how did you prepare for that? That's something a little challenging, and it's
definitely. I think that I struggled with the concept for a while because obviously I can hear, but then I realized that, you know, she's 16, 15. And she'd spent the majority of her life hearing. And then obviously it's like these two terrible things happen at once. She sort of loses her mother in the most permanent way, loses one of her, you know, one of your main senses, not totally, but basically she completely loses it. And also in a way, she also loses her father. And so it's kind of isolating in the most visceral way possible. Like, okay, you're totally, your parents, that relationship is gone. And you also kind of lose a layer of communication. So you're really alone. And I think that I had to hearken back to my childhood, or not childhood, but like early adolescence, where I kind of, you know, I think a lot of teens go through it, but you kind of go through this weird phase of deep isolation, and just the you know, heavy feelings that come along with that. And it took a lot of self-reflection, I think.
absolutely. Thomas, you mentioned Emile Hirsch. He plays well, to use a not a better word, but a dick here. He's the bad guy. He's the villain. He's a great actor. What's the real Emile Hirsch like? Is he?
Emile is so creative. He's a fantastic scene partner. He's always throwing out ideas. Some of them are great. Some of them are really wild, but he'll throw them out, you know, and that is such a blessing when you're working with an actor in rehearsals, in the takes, you know. And he's the kind of actor that's always thinking, and he's always got an idea, and he wasn't afraid to throw one out for you, you know. Mm-hmm. You'd be like, hey, and some of them were really great. And that is so fun to have that kind of extra thought process. It gets everybody else thinking. It gets to challenge you in ways and come up with ideas that I myself couldn't have come up with, because I'm not Emile. You know, he had this. We get in a fight at the end, and there's you know, we're punching each other and flipping each other around and all that stuff. And Emile goes, wouldn't it be great if you punched me in the balls and I threw up? Like, that's really weird, man. but let's try it, you know. So we ended up filming it, and you can kind of see it in the movie. And he's that kind of guy, you know. Awesome. real pleasure.
Awesome. Yeah, if he's in the movie, I'm totally watching it. And we do recommend people watch this one. And I would be remiss. I'm with Watch Mojo, and we here we're superhero comic book fanatics, of course.
Right.
Thomas, you famously played the Punisher. What was it, 2004?
Yep.
Yeah. We're in the world now where the MCU has opened up the multiverse. I don't know if you saw like Spider-Man, they bringing back old actors that played that character. If the door opened, would your Frank Castle return?
I'm very protective of Frank Castle. You know, I did a little short film called Dirty Laundry.
Oh, so good.
And that kind of wanted to put my stamp on that character. I think that he's a tough nut to crack. And the for want of a better word, Disneyfication of the Marvel universe. And I love Marvel universe. I watch the movies and have a blast. Some of them are really, really good. But that kind of world is tough to marry with an anti-hero like Frank Castle. And I believe in Frank's role in the world, what he represents. And I wouldn't want that to be diluted or watered down or otherwise perverted. So I'm not sure that the world is ready for that kind of thing yet, but maybe we're getting there.
You never say never in the world of Hollywood, but what you should say is yes to dig. Like I said, a great time. You can put yourself in the shoes of these characters, see what you would do. It's a blast from start to finish. Lots of action, excitement, thrills, mystery. Thank you so much, Thomas and Harlow, for joining me today.
Hey, thanks for having us. Thank you.
All right, well, that's going to do it for this edition, everybody. Big thanks going out to the Watch Mojo lady, Rebecca Brayton. Always brings the fun. And hey, all my amazing guests, Amber Nash, Thomas Jane, and Harlow Jane. Such great shows and movies out there. But hey, thank you for watching and listening. Till next time, I've been Mr. Hollywood, poppin' the culture.